even accident, even future, whatever, I mean, the security which are available for the organized workers, I mean, also available for unorganized workers. Like that, government passed so many acts and regulations. Uh, Regarding that, actually, I told that only 13% of the people, unorganized workers, avail those programs. Only 13%. Only 13%. So remaining 87% of the workers, either they did not know about these acts, or not know about any of the social security measures, or they are illiterate regarding all these activities, or I mean they're not able to take any of the policies, like insurance policy we have to pay some premium, for health insurance we have to pay some premium, accident benefits you have to pay premium, or they are not able to avail these programs by paying a free few amount of money as a premium amount, and that resulted in not availing any of these programs, not availing any of these programs. And whom we have to find fault in this case is that government is not very serious about implementing all these social security measures. And another thing, the employers who are employing these young, semi-skilled, or illiterate people, they are not ready to. They are not ready to educate these boys, or they are not ready to provide this type of social security measures to these workers, because they are appointing them. They are appointing them as daily wage work basis, or coolie work basis, or weekly basis, something like that. If they come for work, they will pay some 300, 500 rupees, or in Kerala, we used to pay 1,000 rupees. And so work or no pay. If you come for work, you will get, I mean, 700, 800 rupees. If you are not coming for work, no salary. But you can get it with every week, or you can get it even end of the month also, no problem. But your salary, your wage, your coolie is based on how many days you are working. That is the condition. And another important aspect of this unorganized worker is that organized workers used to work only 8 hours, or whatever may be prescribed by the government of India. But in the case of unorganized workers, they have to work more than 8 hours, or sometimes shift, double shift they have to work. So that also.
Sir, it is not audible.
Okay. Now
it's
can you
okay.
Okay. Thank you. Because in the organized sector, people are working only for 8 hours. In the unorganized sector, they have to work for double shift, maybe 16 hours. Certain cases, I'm telling, at least in the case of construction sector, they have to work. I mean, no hours is fixed. It's a contract only. This work should be completed within 1 day, or this work should be completed within 2 days. That type of nature. So they used to work for continuously. In the case of electrification, in the case of plumbing work, in the case of sending work, mixing of cement with sand. So these works and all, there's no time limit. There's no day night. That issues are not there. These workers keep on working in those sectors continuously some days, because when there's an emergency comes, they used to work without considering uh, even their health aspect. But if any accident comes, if any injury happened, if any disability happened, maybe now we are talking that issue. In the TV channels, YouTube and other channels. But many times in Kerala itself, the workers. They used to fell down from the multi-story buildings, and even many accidents used to take place, and so on the construction sites, and in the while doing paint work. So many issues are there. But they used to give some amount, to take the body to their villages in Bihar or Uttar Pradesh. And how much they are giving compensation, not clear. It's not clear this much. Suppose any disability happened, suppose an unorganized worker is fell down from the multi-story building and died. suppose a minimum at least 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs should be given. Or I mean, his family should be given employment opportunity. So nothing is clear, nothing is open for common people or even government. That is the main reason. The unorganized sector, everything, I mean, is held within the closed circle. Only the employer knows everything. The employers, almost I am telling that, except few employers in India, most of the employers, they know very well about what is going on in the unorganized sector. And I don't want to tell that they are exploiting the workers or not, but what I can say that they are not sharing, they are not conveying what are the acts, benefits, social security measures which are available or passed by the government, central government, as well as most of the state governments to the workers. That thing is very clear, and they are living in highly unhealthy conditions. And in a simple, I mean, so small room, 10 boys are living without proper toilet facilities, without so many issues. Those issues came up even recently, even in the COVID period. So this is the nature of unorganized workers in the agriculture sector as well as in the unorganized sector. And recently, Madam, I mean, while declaring this 20 lakh program, Madam announced, I mean, additional amount will be provided to MNRGP workers, something like that. The entire MNRGP workers, I mean, though we are telling that they are getting 200, 250, I don't know exactly. I mean, it varies from state to state. I mean, 250, something like that. And if you go for work, you will get that amount of money. That is, today, if you are going for MNRGP work, you will get 250 rupees. If you are not going, you will not get it. That's the nature of the unorganized workers. Now, it happened among the illiterate people. I mean, people who are in the rural areas. But here the qualification is not there. Skill is not measured. Number of years of service is not measured. But at the same time, when you come to organized sector like universities, I mean, self-financing colleges, deemed universities, I mean, self-financing schools, private schools and all. I mean, people are nowadays, I mean, the employment is in the nature of unorganized only. This is some informal workers in the formal sector. Generally, there is a classification in the unorganized sector, that informal workers in the formal sector. And they are not having any other social security measure. I'm here, one point you have to understand that unorganized workers in the illiterate, among the illiterate people, among the innocent people are more or less same with the highly educated people, highly qualified people who are working in the formal sector. I mean, as far as the work condition may be different. I mean, but as far as the nature of job, I mean, the characteristics of job is more or less same. Here also no social security measures. Here also no social security measures. If something happened, if the management asks the teacher or the lecturer or your company asks one particular worker, no work, they have to go. This is happening in government sectors also. And so the contract system of appointing people on the daily wage basis or monthly basis or 6 months basis also should be coming out of this unorganized, informal nature of formal workers only. So here, what I would like to suggest is that now why we are discussing at this issue, when suddenly when government of India locked down the country, nearly 150 million workers. I'm telling about, that's what I want to tell you, that exactly we did not know how many millions are there, but the government estimation only I'm telling that nearly 150 million workers who migrated from the less developed, less industrially advanced states like Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, I mean, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, UP, Bihar, West Bengal, and even almost all northeastern states. Less fortunate states, what I can say, that less industrially advanced states are mainly, I mean, the boys from these states started migrating to industrially advanced or socially advanced states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, And even certain cases for agriculture purpose, a lot of migrants from Bihar used to migrate to even Punjab and Haryana. So mainly these workers are, I mean, from the less, I mean, developed, are mainly agriculture-based states like northern, northeastern, and eastern and northeastern states. And western states are a little bit advanced, industrially a little bit advanced, and the southern states are also a little bit industrially advanced, and Kerala is socially advanced, and even northern, western, I mean, Gujarat and other areas also industrially advanced. These states are attracting more people from agriculture sector in these states, the less advanced states, was what I said. And when they are going there and they are working, and suddenly when government of India announced lockdown of the country from March 25th on 24 night onwards, now we know the result. No transport system, no train transport, no bus transport, no vehicle transport, no truck transport, nothing. Initially, I'm telling you, initially no transport system at all. But suddenly, if government of India announced for the purpose of preventing spread of particular disease, lockdown, one section of the people did not say anything about that one. They enjoyed the life. Here you can understand that one section of the population, I mean, I'm not telling about the rich section. I'm not coming to the rich, I mean, very rich people. I'm telling one section of the employment, people who are working in the organized sector, particularly, I mean, registered industrial units, registered companies, I mean, this type of educational institutions, I mean, aided institutions, colleges, schools, and universities, and they did not open anything about, I mean, lockdown. There's one way they are simply keeping inside, following what government India is telling, or concerned state governments are telling like that. But another side, this more around 150 million population, and they do not know what to do. Why they think, why they thought that what to do? Because suddenly they lost their daily income. When companies closed down, when all the unorganized sector been country locked down, and they lost, first thing what happened, they lost their employment. Daily they go work and get their money, I mean wage. Suddenly they lost their daily income. When they lost their daily income, they have no provision to, they have no money to buy their provisions, daily provisions. Then second thing, they have to pay house rent. They have to pay house rent for that. Now no income means, how they can pay room rent or house rent for himself or for his family. That they lost. Their job is lost, their income is lost. Then automatically the other issues will come. No money for paying provisions, no money to pay, I mean, rent, no money to pay, I mean, their I mean, water charge, electricity charge, and I mean, buying sweet, whatever thing needed for their children. Then how long they
Sir, please, not audible.
Yes,
Are we?
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
If most of the governments, central state governments announced so many, I mean, welfare measures, the form of giving food, the form of taking care of the rent, the form of taking care of, I mean, so many, I'm telling that. But whether this, I mean, how long they can give food, that is a question. How long they can give food, and how many months they can provide rent. But actually, when government declared that rent will be paid by the, cannot be charged from the workers for 1 or 2 months, something like that. But actually, our city, I mean, people who are giving their houses for rent, I mean, they will not wait for such a long period. For them, they need money, I mean, end of beginning of every month. So these all these conditions. One is food, and one is shelter, and no money to buy even. To travel, no money to buy travel. All these conditions, created an uncertainty among the migrant workers from all the industrial advanced, social advanced, western and southern and northwestern states. So, and that created an uncertainty conditions. So finally what happened, these workers wanted to go back to their states. States are the place from where they origin or their villages. And states like Kerala, took care of the workers like their own children, like their own, people. But every state is not like that. Every state is not like that. A simple example I can tell you, even 2008, there was a problem in Maharashtra. The Thakre, people, they created some problem against workers coming from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. It was in 8 case, I am telling that. So in that type of condition, how we can expect, such government will take care of these people with respect to food or accommodation or house rent or water charge, electricity charge, or even bus charge, train charge, something like that. So this type of uncertainty conditions, risk, this type of risk among the workers forced them to move to their villages or from to their native states. Finally, the result we know that the workers with their families, the children, they started walking. They used to go by bicycle, they go by scooter, bike, even truck. So many things happened. So I'm not coming to that side. But my question is, only one question is that why no organized employees or government employees or organized workers did not decide to go to their villages. Why only these people decided to go to their villages? From that point itself, you can easily understand what type of social security measures the organized workers are enjoying, the government employees are enjoying, or those workers who are having the formal sector enjoying. And here, due to lack of social security measures with respect to unorganized workers, they think that suddenly they are nowhere. They are in a no man land. It's not their land. Suddenly, when they lost their job, they felt that it's not their land. It's not the place they're supposed to be there. They are supposed to be the place where with their family, or with their parents, or with their wife and children. So that was the condition. And because they want to avoid any more risk, no money to, because of lack of money. And here only the question comes. Recently the Uttar Pradesh government decided that hereafter, workers, will not be permitted easily to other states without proper social security measures. Without proper social security measures. I have written many times earlier, even not now. Even 10 years back itself, I have written a paper on that. Why even before, why 2008 Act was not implemented properly? Why the government is not concerned about asking the employers implement those rules and regulations? Yes, government is coming forward. Here the question is, if you take the case of Kerala government, when in the COVID period, most of the employers disappeared. Most of the employers who brought, or the agencies who brought these workers from Odisha or even Bengal or West Bengal, even Assam and stores, they disappeared. Finally, the government was forced to provide whatever needed for the workers. So the employers who are agencies who are supposed to take care of these workers vanished, washed their hands. Finally, the government was forced to take care of all the welfare measures which is needed for them. But that's only temporary basis. 1 or 2 months of food, accommodation, or travel cost is a matter of very not coming under any of the social security measures. But social security measures means the way government employees are enjoying, the way organized workers are enjoying. same system should be, same security measures should be provided to unorganized workers, whatever may be. At least in the case of insurance, at least in the case of, I mean, accident benefit, at least in the case of disability case, at least in the case of injury benefits, at least in the case of PF, in the case of gratuity, I mean, cases, I mean, they need security. In this type of uncertainty conditions, suppose this is the COVID-19, suppose in the case of natural calamity occurred, in the case of, even if there's any natural calamity, and the unorganized workers should get at least minimum 50% of what they were getting the last month. I mean, last wage, what they were getting. 50% of money should be given as a compensation for how many months, whatever maybe. If India is locked down for 2 months, 3 months, at least the employers should provide 50% of the wage. Suppose if they are getting 30,000 rupees per month, at least give them 15,000. Suppose give 15,000 to the workers, so that this type of travel, unprecedented travel, damaging, I mean, damaging the India's, I mean, exposing India's country as a very poor, I mean, in a very poor manner, that would have been avoided. I'm not telling that you give them, I mean, lakhs and lakhs of rupees. Whatever money the workers are getting last month, you give 50% of 50%, just 50% of money, so that all these workers would have been avoided to take this type of adventure travels for 1,000 kilometers and 500 kilometers in the COVID period. That too, when such a, I mean, highly vulnerable pandemic diseases, I mean, spreading all over India. That the employers have totally failed in that respect. And for that only, we need social security measures. As I told you, we have so many acts with respect to gratuity and other benefits. But hereafter, both central as well as state governments should bring an act only for this purpose. I mean, in the case of any natural calamities, in the case of this type of uncertain conditions, at least 6 months, the employers should take care of them by providing 50% of the salary, wage, coolie work, whatever it may be. They were getting for the last, I mean, last month, I mean, how much they are receiving, 50% should be given to them in their workplace itself, so that this type of, I mean, unpleasant journeys should be avoided. And this is the duty of the governments, both central and state governments, as well as employers also. Employers also highly responsible for that, but most of the cases they disappear. And one more point, another point, and in this case also, at present, most of the employers donated very huge amount of money to the central government as well as state government. Every day it came in the newspaper and in the YouTube, WhatsApp, and so many sharing groups also it came. But the unorganized workers are not coming into any of these social security measures. Okay, it's because of so many other issues. At least the employers who are donating very huge amount of money to the central state governments, they should have I mean, earmarked around 10% of money which was supposed to be donated to the government for this, I mean, unorganized workers, would have been distributed among them, so that they would have avoided to travel in such a very bad manner to their native states. And so government should be, hereafter, I'm telling that whatever happened, I mean, happened now over. Hereafter, the interstate migration should take place strictly on the basis of social security measures. Whenever people from Odisha, West Bengal, or Assam wanted to come to Kerala or Karnataka or Maharashtra or Gujarat, while booking a ticket, they have to entrust the insurance policy number or the social security measures, which include everything assured by the, I mean, employer, with respect to their accident benefit, with respect to injury benefit, disability benefit, or this type of, I mean, in the case of lockdown benefits, maybe 6 months, I mean, 50% the salary should be assured by the employers. All these measures should be, I mean, should be assured by the employers while booking the railway ticket or booking bus ticket from their, I mean, state, the original state of origin to any of the states where they want to migrate, should be attached or should be, I mean, provided the number, the employee's number and the employer's assurance letter, everything should be attached. Then only the railway ticket should be provided to those workers, and that way, that type of compulsion, the way we implemented the Aadhaar scheme, now everybody is having Aadhaar scheme. Similarly, the social security measures also should be attached with the Aadhaar number promised by the employer, and the company with which the social security measures are attached, either with insurance, LIC of India or Bajaj Insurance, or so many insurance companies, whatever may the insurance companies. The employer should provide the insurance, the social security measures with which it is attached, and also that those things should be provided to the workers at the time of booking railway ticket, at the time of booking bus ticket, at the time of traveling from crossing the border to the states where they are getting employment opportunities. This way, we can ensure the safety of the workers, and we should not simply allow the employers. Recently, you know very well, the government, central government has announced so many, I mean, lakhs of money, nearly 20 crore lakhs of money, 20 lakh crores of money, I mean, as a package for them. Nearly 3 lakh crores only for medium, small merchant industries. And so they are eligible to avail bank loan from banking institutions. They are eligible to avail bank loan from non-banking financial institutions. And so many other money transfer schemes are available through formal, informal banking institutions. When the employers are availing all these, I mean, monetary benefits from the government of India, or from the government agencies like banking and non-banking institutions, they are liable to pay. The employers are liable to pay the compensation, whatever it may be. I mean, in future, I mean, the form of social security measures, the employers should, I mean, take policies, social security policies for these workers, and should be attached with their Aadhaar card or their ration card. The government already introduced ration card. Ration things can be bought anywhere in India. So it should be their social security measure should be attached with the, even there with their, I mean, this type of ration card. Then only the workers should be permitted from their state of origin to the state where they are, I mean, where the agencies, taking these boys to their state for work. I mean, central government should be very strict on that. Anyway, I mean, state government also should be very strict on that. Then only the benefits the employers are getting from the government should be, I mean, a part of that should be transferred to the, I mean, workers who are working for working under their, I mean, supervision. I mean, the workers are, I mean, one more point I would like to share with you. These workers are not, I mean, slaves. They are not, I mean, it is the Dutch people took a lot of South African people or African people to America and European countries as slaves for work in agriculture and the road sector and other infrastructure development. But these workers are not from slaves. They are, they are from, most of the workers are from farmer families, and they have their own lifestyle. They used to live with dignity in their villages. They are the people who are, I mean, taking our culture to the future generations. And but unfortunately, these agencies and employers are exploiting these workers by not revealing what type of social security measures are available for them. Finally, now everything came out. I mean, now everything is clear. Now at least governments should come forward and provide, should assure social security measures for the workers. This is from the employer side. And another point I would like to share with you, since I told that the eastern states, Odisha, I mean, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, I mean, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and northeastern states. These states are agriculture, industrially backward states, so definitely. And what government has to do, and as I told, even the incentives, the way government of India is treating agriculture sector, government should change its views on agriculture sector.